I think one of the most petrant things that you could ever hear in a fast food job is, can I speak to the manager? Oh my God, these words literally haunt me at night and they literally seep into my dreams. Every time this happens, and it's literally happened like 10 times to me now just because I've been working so long, I always want to say back, I don't know, can you? But then I realize, okay, I can't say that back. That would be horrible. But how funny would that be? So basically, the first time this has ever happened to me, it was like my 3rd week at Subway. And you got to keep in mind, I mean, most of you know this, but my parents own the Subway, so I'm low-key a manager, low-key not in the beginning. You know, it's still my first couple weeks, so I'm figuring out what to do. And I made a woman salad, and apparently I didn't put enough salad into it, so I was like, do you want me to just put lettuce on top? Like, I could fill it up more. And the lady was like, no, you need to be trained how to do this. Can I speak to the manager? And I was all alone at the store at that time, and I was like, I mean, you could talk to me. My parents own this place. And she was like, no, I need to speak to a manager. So I basically just gave her like the corporate number and never heard from that lady again. But that was the first time. You know, that was the most sweet sailing ride I think I've ever had with this stuff. Every other time was not that nice or not that easy. So the next time somebody asked me to speak to the manager, I was making a guy like 3 sandwiches. You know, he was getting everything on them. He was getting double meat. He was getting extra cheese. He was getting bacon on them. And he literally had me put every single vegetable onto it, and I couldn't close the sandwich. Mind you, he put every single item onto the sandwich. So I was having trouble closing it up, and he was getting very frustrated. I could see it in his face, and he started talking to me, and he was like, dude, you gotta learn how to make a sandwich. Can I speak to your manager about this? Because I don't want to pay for these subs. And at that point, I just kind of snapped. I mean, this might have been one of the only times I've ever snapped at Subway, and I was like, listen, man, you got every single thing on this sandwich. How do you expect me to close it when you got everything on the menu onto it? And I was like, I'm actually the manager too. So he kind of, you know, he just kept quiet for a couple of minutes, and then I rang the guy up, and he was like, are you kidding me? You charged me this much for 2 sandwiches? And I was like, dude, you got double meat, you got extra bacon. Like, this is how this place works. And he begrudgingly gave me the money, and he was like, I'm never coming back to this place. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you. By the way, I know for a fact I made those sandwiches deliciously. I mean, it was only like my 2nd or 3rd month on the job, but I know for a fact I made those good sandwiches. And one wild card I want to throw into this that I've talked about quite a bit is when a person comes in and they tell me that they know the owner. Usually somebody will come in and tell me that they know the owner because they want something for free. So whenever this happens, I like to kind of play around and be like, I do too. It's my parents. And it always gets really awkward, and I end up kind of feeling bad. But like, come on, man. This is a business at the end of the day, and I give out free cookies. Like, is that not enough? Oh my God, this reminds me of another story about a woman that abused my free cookie power. Let me know if I should tell that story next in the comments. Be sure to leave this video a like. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Help us grow. I mean, I love all of you beautiful people so much. You guys are my mini subs. Have a beautiful and blessed day, everybody. And remember, eat fresh. I think one of my favorite parts about working at Subway is the fact that you could have any person come in at any given day at any time. I've literally had so many different types of people come in, from weed doctors to people that smoke weed. I mean, like, don't do that, kids. Don't do drugs. But it's always so funny. And every single person will come in and say the exact same thing, I swear. They say, and I quote, let me get a... And you know, I gotta admit, I do it too. No matter where I go fast food wise, I will always use the line, let me get a... And I don't know why. It's just like built into my vocabulary at this point. But yeah, you literally have the most interesting characters walk through that door, and people always ask me, how do you have so many stories, Milad? You go work 5.5 years in a fast food place, and I promise you'll have double the amount of stories that I have. The amount of people that you meet every single day is absurd. And the fact that people are coming in from all over, from the YouTube and TikTok videos now, it just makes it double absurd. I mean, I feel like stories are stacking up by the day. So I think one of my favorite ones that I've gotten so far are the people that come in and order way too much food. You know, they'll come in with some red eyes, and you kind of know what that means, right? So I'll have somebody come in, order themselves a nice sandwich, and they walk out, and they come back in 5 minutes later like, that wasn't enough. I need another foot long. And I'm like, attaboy. We love it. It's good for business. It's good for you. It fills up your hungry tummy. And honestly, they're always so funny. I mean, like, sometimes it's unintentionally funny, but like, they'll crack jokes and stuff. You know, it's always fun having a high customer. I'm gonna be honest. And bro, they'll just stare at the food for like 5 minutes, just in awe. It's amazing. I've never been more hungry than watching somebody who's red-eyed ordering a sandwich. And back at the old store, I mean, we would have a lot of people that would come in that were kind of like this. I'm not gonna lie. And I'm not judging at all. As long as you're not driving to the store and you're just walking or taking a bus or something, you're good. I mean, it's legal in most states. But just be safe while you're doing it. And, you know, Subway is the perfect snack for if you need a nice little snack after a night. And that reminds me of another story from my old Subway. There was one tonight where I was closing up, and I had a couple of intoxicated customers come into the store. And yo, I'm gonna be honest, they were so funny. They were like cracking jokes all over, like play fighting with each other, and just like basically roasting each other while I was making their sandwiches, and I started cracking up. I mean, there's always so many fun experiences at the Subway, and I think one thing literally connects every single customer to each other: the fact that nobody knows exactly what they want when they come through that door. That's what makes it such a surprise, because you're literally building something from scratch, and you're gonna get a delicious sandwich no matter what you pick. So that's it for today's video, friends. Don't be embarrassed of coming into Subway and not knowing what you want, and even using the infamous "let me get a" line. I mean, it's a staple of ordering food at Subway. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like this video, hit the subscribe button. Our community is growing at such a crazy rate, and subscribing automatically enters you into some giveaways, I'm gonna be honest. And turn on those bell notifications. All right, guys, have a beautiful and blessed day, and remember, eat fresh. Alright, listen up, you beautiful, beautiful human being. Today's story is going to be about meat. So one of the biggest complaints that I ever get at Subway, being a sandwich artist, and people hate that I call myself a sandwich artist, but listen, let me have this one thing. Anyways, the biggest complaint that I have as a sandwich artist at Subway is not enough meat. And I know we've all experienced this before. We go to a fast food place, or we go to, like, you know, a place where they make the food right in front of you, like a Subway, and they don't give you enough meat. But me personally, like, dude, I try to give as much meat as humanly possible. I literally fill those scoopers up to the max, and sometimes it even overflows. But like the other meat where you have to count it out, like the turkey, pepperoni, salami, I like can't control that. There's a formula that Subway gives everybody, and you know, some people think it's too much meat, some people think it's not enough meat, and that just goes to show that not everybody is the same. If you want extra meat at Subway, yo, it's a few bucks more. I mean, I know it's tough. I know you might want like 90 grams of protein on your sandwich, but from like a business owner's perspective, the meat is the most important and most expensive part of any sandwich. That meat don't come cheap, I'm not gonna lie. For like an entire bag of chicken strips, I'm pretty sure it's something like 15 bucks. Don't quote me on that, I might be completely wrong. But there is a reason why the meat at Subway is so expensive, and this brings me to my story today. 2 days ago, I had a woman come in that was literally on my live, and she was telling me I didn't put enough meat on her sandwiches. She got a couple of chicken teriyaki subs. Listen, she was a really nice woman. I gotta say, like, she's had conversations with me before. She's actually a very nice person. But every single time she comes into my Subway, she tries finessing me out of extra meat. Every single time. So on this particular day, I put a little bit extra just to see what she would say. Obviously without telling her, and like just kind of doing, you know, a little test. Call this a placebo, if you will. And she goes, "That's not enough meat on my sandwich." I go, "You know, I put extra meat this time for you. There's no excuses anymore." It's like honestly ridiculous. We gotta follow a formula, and that's like anywhere in fast food. And I can get in trouble for putting extra meat. Obviously, I'm not gonna get in trouble, but like, come on. We end up losing money if I just start putting extra scoops onto it for free. And I told her it's like $2 more for double meat. Do you want to do that? And she was like, "Nope." And I'm like, "Okay, you have nothing to complain about then. If you can't cough up $2 for your 2 extra scoops of chicken teriyaki, then like, why are you complaining?" You know, if you're really nice to me and like you're like, you know, you're just a very nice person, sometimes I'll toss in an extra slice of turkey or an extra scoop of tuna. But don't tell my parents that. But guys, just understand, when you go to a fast food place, there's a reason they give so little meat sometimes. And I don't even think it's a little. I think it's so much meat that we give. I don't know why I said a little. But just come on, just pay the extra couple bucks. Sometimes they don't even charge you at the register. Like sometimes I don't charge at the register, you know, I kind of let it slide. But just don't show an attitude about that kind of a thing, because at the end of the day, it's not the employee's fault at all. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I love you guys so dearly. Something like 80% of you guys aren't subscribed to the channel but watch the video. So if you made it this far, I think I earned a subscription. Please subscribe. You can unsubscribe at any time. Like the video up. Let's break 5 likes today. Thank you guys all for watching. Have a beautiful and blessed day. Turn on those bell notifications, and remember, eat fresh. Okay, internet, I need your help desperately right now. I need to find this man, Terrence. Back when I was a little kid, my parents hired somebody at the Subway named Terrence. I was like 8 or 9 years old, walking to Subway every single day, you know, getting my little turkey sandwich. You guys already know. And Terrence was always there, and he was old reliable. That man worked so hard, and I love that man. We literally talked about video games like 24/7. He was a chill guy. And, you know, he was on hard times back then, too. So my parents were really helping him out. They let him stay in the basement of Subway. You know, they gave him like a place to sleep, and we let him shower at our house, do all that good stuff. We gave him a bunch of clothes and stuff. Terrence was a great guy, but one day he had to leave Subway, and apparently the cops showed up at our house a couple weeks later telling us he was involved in an armed robbery with other people. I really hope that Terrence is not in jail right now, and I really wish I had more information for you guys besides these few things. His name is Terrence. He worked at the Subway in Little Falls, New Jersey a couple years back, and he loved playing Xbox 360. Those are just about the only things that I can remember of Terrence, except for the beautiful memories I made with that guy. I mean, he was such a nice guy. We talked about Minecraft. We talked about just everything. And yo, if I'm being honest, Terrence made a killer sub too. I remember hearing a story about this man getting in an argument with a customer once. And Terrence is like the shyest person ever, so the customer was literally just yelling at him, and he was just going like, okay. And another time where he actually gave a free cookie to me before. Can you believe it? I was a little kid, and I was like, oh, can I come around and get my cookie? And he handed me the cookie. So Terrence, if you're somewhere out there watching this, please get in touch with us somehow. And if anybody has any information on where Terrence is, DM me on Instagram, DM me on Twitter, message me, do whatever you have to do to get my attention. We have to reunite, Terrence. And I have to make you a Subway sandwich. It's only fair for all the Subway sandwiches you made me back in the day. Thank you all for watching this video. Hopefully we can find Terrence. Could you imagine if we find Terrence? Like, that would be probably the craziest realization moment I'll ever have. Like, if the internet is this powerful where they can bring this man that I haven't heard of in like 8 or 9 years back, like, oh my god, that'd be nuts. But anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Like this video to help out the algorithm, and make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed already. It really helps this channel grow. Tell me your favorite sandwich in the comments, and have a beautiful and blessed day, everybody. And remember, eat fresh. Okay, before I get started with today's video, I just have to say this is a very serious topic that I'm going to be talking about. There's going to be some jokes here and there in between, but this topic's very serious, and I don't want anybody to not take it as serious. Yesterday, somebody in my Instagram DMs told me that they were married to somebody for 2.5, 3 years, and her husband cheated on her. So I wanted to go through my experience about relationships and love, and I feel like at least somebody will be able to get some knowledge out of this and be able to use this in the future. And I'm just going to warn you, this might not be a happy-go-lucky video, but I think it's very important to help people who need it. So heartbreak sucks. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's probably one of the worst pains that you'll ever experience in your life. Some people are just not good human beings. And if you're out there cheating right now, you're literally affecting another human being so harshly. And your karma is going to catch up to you. So don't you worry, sweetheart. But when I was in high school, I had somebody that I was very, very madly infatuated with. Not in love with, I was infatuated with. There's a big difference. Infatuation is like being in love with the idea of the person and not actually being in love with the person themselves. So there was this girl I was googly-eyed over, but I was a little kid and I didn't really know anything about relationships, and I didn't know whether or not I should do something or not. I was kind of really good friends with her, and I ended up going to a school dance with her too. I was like, oh man, it's locked in. Like, Milad's about to get himself a little girlfriend. At the time, I didn't even ever kiss a girl. Like, this was literally bare bones day one. And so we went to the dance. Nothing really happened. You know, I didn't ever ask her out or anything. And then a couple weeks later, we were at her house, and one of my best friends at the time was there with me, and the two of them started to kiss and hook up right in front of me on the girl's bed. This best friend knew how I felt. This girl must have knew how I felt. And in that moment, I think I was the most heartbroken I have ever been. What a terrible night, man. And yeah, I kind of just excommunicated myself from them and the whole friend group. I mean, like, if that's happening, you don't want to stick around, bud. Know your worth, king or queen. So yeah, that happened, and I was like, okay, I'm never dating a girl again. Or I didn't even date the girl. That's the crazy thing. But I still felt so heartbroken. It didn't make any sense. And so I was like, I'm done with girls. I'm focusing on myself. And that's what I did. And I used that energy, and I let that fuel me. And I got a 4.0 my first 2 years of college. I got a full ride scholarship to my school and started my own tech startup in that time. I felt like I had something to prove, even though I had nothing to prove, let's be honest. And then a few years ago, I actually had another girl that came to me out of thin air. And I was like best friends with the girl, and this same pattern started to repeat itself. I was googly-eyed over this girl, but I had no idea what to do. And I kept thinking to myself, oh, I'm going to screw this up. I'm going to screw this up. And I actually ended up telling her that I liked her, and she told me that she liked me back, but that was about it. Nothing really happened afterwards from that. And so I let it go on for a few months, and then I learned that she was seeing people the entire time while I was friends with her and hanging out. And she was kind of keeping it a secret. I mean, like, if she didn't keep it a secret, it wouldn't have really mattered. But yeah, it was a secret that whole time. So when I learned that, I was completely shattered. But I was also like, LMAO, how did that happen twice, bro? You know, I like to make jokes out of a lot of things. But yeah, this was probably one of the lowest points I'd ever have in my life. And this is why I can relate to the person in my DMs that told me this. Yo, heartbreak sucks. Nobody is going to ever understand what you're going through, but you just have to get through it. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, I promise. That second heartbreak literally fueled me to make this entire platform. It made me more successful in my life than I've ever been, and it made me so happy in life. I realize how much I value myself now, and that's something that you have to keep in mind if you ever even want to get into a relationship. It's all about you and the other person, but you have to make it about you first. If you're not happy, if you're experiencing pain, run the other way. Take this as your sign. Run. Focus on yourself, please. Because at the end of the day, if you're not a complete person and you're bringing yourself to a table of another incomplete person, two incomplete persons make one complete person, and you don't want that. That's where problems start. And now, years later, I met my current girlfriend, and I think I'm happier than I ever can be. And at this point, it doesn't even matter what happened. I mean, of course I love her, and like, of course, like, I want the best for everything. But like, the worst case scenario can happen, and I feel confident in the fact that I can build myself again. I don't even need to build myself again because I've learned so much through these these experiences. Heartbreak is such a blessing in disguise. It makes you understand who you really are, and it gives you this opportunity to build upon yourself and be the best version of you possible. Once again, I know that this wasn't a serious video, and I know that I'm really putting myself out there with this video, but if I could help at least one person get through one of their most painful times in their life, that's what I'm here to do. That's where this YouTube channel really comes in handy, and that's where I can actually help real human beings survive. Because the truth is, if you survived today, you did a lot more than you should have. Take life with a grain of salt and realize that things aren't happening to you, they're happening for you. I could go on and on about this story, but I'm gonna cut it here. Please don't feel sorry for me. Like, I don't even care. I mean, looking back at it, it's pretty hilarious that all this happened. I like to keep a light heart about all this, and I love all of those human beings still. I mean, they were all great people. At the end of the day, it was my fault, and that's kind of how you have to have a perspective on things. You can't change other people, but you can change yourself to put yourself into better situations and better scenarios. So the person that DM'd me, I promise everything's gonna be okay. Don't make any permanent decisions out of a temporary situation. You're a beautiful human being, and I love you so, so much. And to everybody else out there watching this, yo, a heartbreak is bound to happen in your life. Maybe not for everybody, but I'd say a majority of people will experience heartbreak in one form or another. But it too shall pass. Things get better, I promise. And that's it for today's video. If this helped you, please let me know in the comments. Be sure to like this video too. It really helps us with the algorithm, and if you're not subscribed, please hit that red button. I really want to bring you into the community because we have such a beautiful and blessed community here. Thank you guys all from the bottom of my heart. I love you so much, and remember, eat fresh. So on yesterday's video, I said something along the lines of, if you survived today, you did a lot more than you should have. And I got this comment from a person that said, so I shouldn't have survived. And I wanted to do one more video about like talking through these kind of things. I promise tomorrow we'll go back to the stories and the funny moments at Subway. But I need everyone watching to understand how much of a gift that life is. You shouldn't be alive right now. Like, we're talking seriously. Like, the odds of you being alive are so slim. There's literally a better chance of you not existing than there is of you existing. So to go through your life and not enjoy every moment of it, it's such a waste. That's why people always ask me, why do you work at Subway? Why do you enjoy your job so much? Why are you so happy? Because no matter what I'm doing, I have to understand that this isn't supposed to happen. I'm not supposed to be here right now. Like, the odds of me existing are literally so slim to none, it's not even funny. I mean, think about it. You could have been born as literally any type of a creature, and you were born as a human being on the planet Earth, where the oxygen in the air is just enough percentage-wise to keep us alive. Isn't that crazy? Like, isn't life just so amazing and spectacular? How could you not enjoy life? I mean, I know things get hard, and that's a part of the cycles. Like, you're gonna have moments where you feel really down, you're gonna have moments when you feel really up, but to not enjoy the ride is such a waste. It's so hard to go through life without thinking about these things for me, because I literally should not be alive, and neither should you. So if you ever come into my Subway and you're wondering why I still work there, or why I still do the things that I do, and why I try to stay so positive and happy throughout, it's for this exact reason. And this brings me to a story, actually, of an old customer I had at my other store. This was back years ago, and this man was literally in like his late 50s, and he was riding around skateboarding and doing some pretty cool stuff. No, it was not Tony Hawk, but he reminded me of Tony Hawk, I'm not gonna lie. And he was literally in his 50s, just like riding around, having a backwards hat on, t-shirt and shorts. And I was like, hey man, that's a nice board, how do you do it? And he's like, listen man, you gotta stay young for as long as you can. You only have one life, and to go through it not doing the things you love because of other people, now that's a waste of life. And I was like, you know, you're 100% right. And I was only like 16 years old at the time, so it was crazy to me. But he was so right. There were probably so many people on the street looking at him so weirdly. Just like there are so many people walking into my Subway looking at me so weirdly with my camera around my chest. But you have to do the things that make you happy at the end of the day. If you're living your life for others, or you're living your life trying to achieve some form of money or something, and you're not happy, now that is wasted potential. You need to go through your life, and you need to appreciate every single moment of it. Because life is a gift. Don't worry about your past. Don't worry about your future. Be in the present moment, because that's all that exists right now. It could literally be stripped from you at any moment. I mean, think about it. The dinosaurs literally died in like a flash. So if a meteor comes down and hits Earth, like, what matters, you know? That Lamborghini you're driving isn't gonna matter if a meteor hits the Earth. It's just so crazy to think about, and at the end of the day, I mean, we're just human beings. So if you don't love your peers, and you don't love yourself, it's really hard to be happy. So just try your best to go through through life understanding how unreasonable life is, and you'll start to get a better appreciation for the little things. I mean, the little things are what make the big things so much better. So spend time with your family, do the things you love, and unapologetically be yourself. Okay, these past 2 days, I've done like a little bit of a philosophical kick. I promise to go back to stories tomorrow, but I hope you guys like videos like these. I like to just throw out things that I've learned in my 21 years, and I need to remind everybody, I'm only 21 years old. I know nothing, but I try my best, you know? And that's all you can really do. So I challenge you to go throughout this entire day with a smile on your face and do one nice thing for someone else, because you never know, that might make their day so much better. That's why I give away a free cookie, because that little bit of a thing makes somebody's day so much better at times. Okay, one last story before I go. I know I'm making this video a little long, but a woman came in yesterday and I literally asked her if she wanted a free cookie. She didn't watch the videos or anything. I don't think she even knew who I was, but she literally said to me, you know, I had a really bad day in the beginning and this just turned around my day. I'm choosing to have a good day now. Thank you, sir. That free cookie literally made her happy for a moment, and that carried energy onto the rest of the day. So go do something nice for somebody else, and remember, your life is such a gift, so don't sweat the small things, but appreciate the small things. You know, if you hit that like button, it really helps us with the algorithm, and I'll give you a free cookie. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I think like 78% of you guys aren't subscribed, so if you made it this far, you might as well sub, right? Thank you guys all for watching. Have a beautiful and blessed day. Turn on those bell notifications, and remember, eat fresh. You know, we've talked about male K-words in the past, and yes, I just said K-word, but you know, there's one step above those types of people, and it's people that come in extremely angry just looking for reasons to be upset. Well, I guess that kind of is what a K-word is, but when full-grown men do it, it's kind of different, I'm not gonna lie. And the only thing I can utter out of my mouth when that happens is, Daddy, chill. Alright, pretend like I didn't say that. But the other day, I had somebody come in, and they gave me such an attitude, oh my god. I was literally just making their sandwich for them, as I usually do, and you know, you could kind of tell when somebody's getting ticked off while you're making their sub, and I kept literally asking him, like, am I doing something wrong? Because his facial expression would literally just be anger while I was making the man's sandwich. I mean, how can you be angry while I'm making your Subway sandwich? That makes no sense to me. And when he finally said something, he ended up telling me that we don't put enough cheese and we're very skimpy on the cheese. And I was like, oh, do you want some extra cheese? It's like 30 cents more. And he was like, wow, you gotta charge extra for that much cheese? And I go, wow, you're calling me skimpy, but you don't want to pay 30 cents? You know, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of snapped back at that guy. I tend to do that when I don't think people are in the right. I guess that's a bad habit. Maybe I should stop, but sometimes you just have to let people know, you know? And actually, a few years ago, I had this incredible story. I mean, it wasn't incredible, but like, looking back on it now, I think it was pretty funny. One of my coworkers was making this man's sandwich, and the man ordered a steak sandwich, and out of nowhere, they literally just started to have a screaming fight. These were two full-grown men screaming over a sandwich, and I literally interrupted and was like, guys, we're yelling over a sandwich. What are we doing? And I think that moment of realization kind of hit both of them, and they both kind of just stayed quiet the rest of the time that they were there. I mean, like, how could you just start yelling over a Subway sandwich? There are certain things in life that you could be mad about, you know? Maybe you missed your flight. Maybe you got a bad grade on a test. Maybe you got a very bad medical report from your doctor. But a Subway sandwich? How are you gonna yell over a Subway sandwich? And my last story of the day, yo, this is a 3-for-1. Isn't that kind of impressive? You gotta like this video if you think that's impressive. Thank you. But my last story is gonna be about, oh my god, this man was just, he was on a mission. You know, I made a whole video about meat at Subway and how some people don't think there's enough meat on the sub. So when this man walked into the store and ordered an Italian BMT, which is one of the sandwiches with the most meat on it, and he started complaining that I didn't put enough meat on the sub. I mean, bro, you're literally getting the sandwich with the most meat on it in the store. And if you want to get like extra meat, it's $1.50. So I had a man literally walk out while I was making his Italian BMT and not come back. I knew he wasn't going to come back because he was complaining about the meat, and then he said, oh, I left my wallet in the car. And when he turned around, I saw the wallet thing. Yo, don't call me sus now. I wasn't looking at his butt or anything, but his wallet was hanging out of his back pocket. Like, come on now. All right, thank you guys so much for watching this video. We've been closing the gap recently. About 78% of you guys aren't subscribed. It used to be 80%. So let's close that gap even more. Make sure you click that red subscribe button if it's red. Like this video if you enjoyed. Turn on those bell notifications so you get notified every single time I post, and you can be one of the first comments. Peace and love, everybody. Have a beautiful and blessed day, and remember, eat fresh. Question, has anyone ever run out without paying? Oh boy, we're starting off hot. So people have definitely tried doing this in the past. I had a guy that came in, I made a sandwich, and then he was like, oh, let me run to the car real quick to grab my wallet. And he grabbed his sandwich and tried taking it with him on his way out, and I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Sir, leave the sandwich, come back in. And once I did that, he kind of realized that, okay, I can't pull a fast one on this man. So he went out to his car, grabbed his wallet, and then came back in and actually paid, and I was kind of surprised. I thought he was just gonna walk out. But I've also had people who would try grabbing a drink on their way out, and I would have to be like, no, you didn't pay for that, dude, you gotta come back. Or something like a bag of chips too. And it's always really frustrating, and once I actually had to run out and hunt a person down. They literally walked out without paying for anything, and I realized, I was like, wait a second, did that person just not pay? So I literally ran down the street and was like, yo, you forgot to give me your $9.79. And I mean, honestly, it's not that big of a deal. Like, I mean, a bag of chips is what, $1? And cookies are free, you already know that. But it's more about the principle. Next question. Has anyone ever asked why you have your phone around your neck while making a sandwich? Yes. I think I've talked about this once before, but in the beginning, this happened to me so much. Also, my phone doesn't hang around my neck. That would be extremely uncomfortable. Shout out to Dylan. But rather, I have it around my chest on this little harness doohickey, and it sits very comfortably around my chest, I must say. But it makes everyone think I'm really short. But yes, in the beginning, customers would always come in and ask me why I'm filming myself making a sandwich. I mean, that probably looks like the most ridiculous thing ever. Literally just filming myself making a Subway sandwich. I mean, like, what? And in the beginning, I would tell them it was for training videos because low-key, I was going to use them for training videos. These videos are a great way to learn how to work at Subway. But eventually, I got comfortable enough and I told everybody how I make TikTok and YouTube videos. And now it's literally just a given when people come into my store. They know that I just wear my camera around and I'm kind of trying to film everything for content, and people love it. Literally, most of my customers are now from these videos and they watch my content, and I love every single one of them so dearly. And the last question for the day, what is the most weird combination of meat, veggies, and sauces anyone has ever asked you to make? Okay, by far, it's gotta be this man. Some person came into my store and asked me to put every single vegetable onto the sandwich, and then he wanted no meat originally, and then he told me to put 5 different sauces onto it. I'm pretty sure it was like sweet onion, chipotle Southwest, mayo, mustard, and ranch. And I was like, okay. And then before I closed up the sandwich, and this thing was a monstrosity to close up, let me tell you. I didn't even know how I was gonna close it up at first. And then he told me to put meatballs on. The balls of meat. And I was like, oh my god, how am I gonna do this? Honestly, it was definitely one of the hardest sandwiches I've ever made. And I've made more complex sandwiches before, but usually those would be for videos. Like the all sauce sandwich or the everything sandwich. That thing's a classic. But there's also been plenty of other customers that have gotten, well, monstrosities to say the least. Tuna and meatballs. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know if you enjoyed this format and ask me more questions in the comment section. I'm really looking forward to answering your questions, and you have to be subscribed to me for me to answer your question. I only pick subscriber questions. And make sure you like this video too. Peace and love, everybody. Have a beautiful and blessed day. Remember to turn on those bell notifications, and remember, eat fresh. Alright, boys and girls, we got another video going, but before we start, if you're not subscribed to the channel, I think like 78% of you guys aren't. Please click that red subscribe button. We're closing the gap real narrow. Alright, let's go. Has anyone accidentally paid more than required? This actually happens much more than you would think it does. The total of something will be like 17 or 18 bucks, and someone will hand me something like $23. The most random thing ever. And I'll always be like, yo, you handed me a little bit extra. And usually they'll just be like, oh, my bad. But sometimes they're like, no, I meant to do that on purpose. And they give me an incredible tip. It's the craziest thing. But one time in particular, when I first started working at Subway, someone handed me $200 by accident as I was ringing up like a $7 order. And I was just like, I was thinking in my head for a second, like, did he mean to do this? There's no way he meant to do this, because he started walking out as he was doing it. And I think he meant to give me one $10 bill and he was just rushing. So I was like, yo, you gave me way too much. You gave me way too much, man. He's like, no, just keep the change. You know, it's a tip. And I go, no, bro, you gave me $200. And his face was just like, oh no. I kind of felt bad in that moment, because like there was other people watching, and I guess they must have thought that I was getting a $200 tip. So he did the walk back to the counter. He's like, yo, my bad, man. I really need that money back. I was like, dude, don't even worry about it. So I just gave him the change back. He still gave me like a $5 tip. Pretty nice, if you ask me. Perfect segue. Keep the change, sir. This is only $1. Your total is $6.50. Dude, I cannot tell you how many times this happens at Subway. Someone will give me like $10 and they'll be like, yo, you could just keep it, and start walking out. And I'll be like, yo, wait, what? Your total was like 13 bucks. And they'll be like, oh, bro, it's like the most embarrassing thing, I swear. And that's literally happened to me before. I'm not gonna cap. I've been at like another place and I've been like, okay, yeah, you can keep the change, and then start walking out. Cause like, you don't need that receipt. You know what I'm talking about. You're not gonna return the sandwich. And they're like, wait, this isn't enough. And I go, oh my God, I feel so bad. But this one time in particular now, a lady gave me like $10 and it was like a, you know, it was literally a big bill. And I guess she must have thought that she gave me a $50 bill. And she started telling me, I didn't give you $10. And this has happened to my coworkers so many times too. They claimed they gave you a bigger bill than they actually did. And I literally had to go back to the camera and have her wait there for like a few minutes just to prove to her that it wasn't the case. And then it's always so embarrassing afterwards. I mean, like, nobody's in the wrong there, I guess. But you know, it just gets annoying for both people. And our next one, Milad, what's your recommendation for people who have never been to Subway before? I get asked this question so many times, and I cannot believe the number of people that watch my videos that have never been to Subway before. Isn't it kind of insane how, like, I'm drawing so much attention to Subway? People that literally have never even heard about Subway are watching my videos, which is just nuts to me. But for your first time going to Subway, I recommend one of 3 different things. If you're a guy that likes a little flavor in your sandwich, you know, you like the classics, go with the Italian BMT. That sandwich gives you a little bit of everything, but if you can't eat pork, I have to tell you that sandwich has pork on it. If you want something extremely simple for your first time, then go with that turkey and cheese sub. You know, that sub is like old reliable, and that's literally one of my favorite subs. It's healthy, it's quick, and you know, it's very nice, very nice. And if you want something hot, you got to go with either the steak or chicken bacon ranch. You know, I said 3 recommendations, but it's really 4. It really depends on whether or not you like chicken or if you like steak. Once again, if you can't eat pork, don't go with the chicken bacon ranch. But those are the classics at Subway. And out of all of those, if you just need one to go with, I pick the BMT every time because you can never really go wrong with an Italian BMT, if I'm being honest. So guys, if that button down below that says subscribe is red, please click it. Let's close that gap up. Be sure to turn on post notifications. I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. Like this video if you enjoyed. Peace and love, everybody. And remember, eat fresh. Oh, and have a beautiful and blessed day. Hello, you beautiful human being. Before we start today's video, please, if you're not subscribed already, please hit that red button. We're closing the gap. It used to be 80% of people who watch the videos weren't subscribed, and now it's only 75%. Let's close the gap. Hey, Milad, have you ever dropped a sandwich and felt really bad? Yes, this has happened to me a number of times, actually. Especially when I first started working at Subway. It literally felt like I couldn't catch a break. I would be making people sandwiches, sometimes 2 at a time, sometimes 3 at a time, and I would just drop one in the middle of taking it over to the toaster oven. And it's the worst feeling because the customer would be pretty upset, I would be pretty upset, and rightfully so. And not only have I dropped sandwiches, but most of you guys know I've dropped containers of food as well. Those really hit the heart deep. It's as if everything's going right in my shift, and then out of nowhere I knock something over, and then boom, I got a mess to clean and like $30 worth of product on the floor. Our next question is, did you get hurt? What is on your hand, Milad? So I'll put a short out about this soon, but I cut myself by making my sandwich. You know, this is what I always talk about. The knives at Subway are really sharp, and all of you guys always warn me in the comments about the bread. Like when I'm cutting the bread, I'm usually cutting it towards myself, so if the knife slips through, it usually cuts my arm. And yo, it was kind of close to a vein this time when it cut. Kind of scary, I'm not gonna lie. But I'm okay, I'll be okay. It's just a little nick. In the future, I gotta be more careful with, you know, cutting bread, and especially towards myself. But hey, it could be worse. Could have cut my hand in the tomato cutter, right? Another one. Did you graduate from Subway U? In case you guys don't know what Subway U is, Subway has its own entire university. No cap, it has a university where you go and you learn how to make sandwiches, and you basically learn everything new going on. They have it on the App Store. They have a website for it. It's called Subway U. And yes, I did pass Subway U, and I'm not gonna lie, it took me some time. If you ever become a sandwich artist at Subway, they make you take these courses online, and yo, I'm not gonna lie, it takes a few hours. Like it's some pretty serious stuff, and they teach you from the ground up how to make a Subway sandwich. It's pretty cool and a pretty unique idea. And every time my parents say, oh, you need to go to college, I always say the same thing. Mom and Dad, I'm a college graduate. I went to Subway University. It's better than Harvard. It's better than Yale. It's better than Oxford. This is the best university on earth because it teaches me how to make delicious sandwiches. And I actually have to have all my coworkers do it too, and they find it just as funny as me. And a little bonus story, I've had a bunch of packages coming to the store recently, so I might start opening a P.O. box, or I could just, you know, have people send them to the store and open them up. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope your day is going really, really well. Like the video, please, if you enjoyed and made it to this point. If the button down below says red subscribe, yo, subscribe now. We're at 75% not subscribed. We're closing that gap. Be sure to turn on bell notifications. Have a beautiful and blessed day, everybody. Ask me questions in the comment, and remember, eat fresh. Boys and girls, the mother of all Karens returned to my store. About a week ago, some lady came back into my store, and at first, I didn't recognize her. Oh, who am I kidding? I knew exactly who it was the second she walked into the store. And I was training somebody that's new to the job, and he was like, yo, can you take care of this lady for me? I just get a bad vibe. And I was like, nope, you're gonna take care of her. Sorry, Will. So he started making the sandwiches, and as I come out, I realized she was ordering 3 sandwiches again. And if you've seen that other video about her, well, you know exactly what to expect. So I made it very clear everything that she's buying is extra. She's like, oh, it's okay, it's okay. And then she asked me, does somebody named Milad work here? And I go, why, yes, that's me. And in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, she 100% saw the video and knew it was her. And then she told me, my daughter loves your video. She's a really big fan. I was like, oh, that's so cool. What's your daughter's name? And she told me the daughter's name. And then she proceeds to take out her phone, start FaceTiming the daughter, and start like taking pictures of me all while we're making the sandwiches, which is okay. That's okay. But usually, like, you might want to ask before you do that stuff, you know? Something like, can you talk to my daughter, or can I take a picture with you? You know, it's pretty good common courtesy. So I'm like, okay, whatever, you know, I just want to make these sandwiches and get out of here. So we start making the sandwiches, you know, everything's going fine. I mean, this time she's not complaining, because I'm assuming she saw the videos before, or maybe she didn't. And so at the end of it, when we're going to ring her up, she goes, I heard you got a free cookie. And yo, this has never happened to me before. Every single time I will be the one to offer a free cookie. If you're asking me for a free cookie, you know, I'll give it to you, but like, dude, that's not nice. That's rude. Like, I don't know if that's obvious, but like, yeah, you shouldn't ask for free stuff. So in my mind, I'm like, are you serious right now? I'm like, yeah, I can give you a free cookie. You want a free cookie? And she goes, well, if you give me one, you got to give me and my daughter one. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, okay, I'll give you two free cookies, like whatever. And she's like, oh, if you're giving my daughter one, you give me my son one. And I really didn't feel like arguing with this woman. I was like on the verge of just saying, okay, you know what? None of you get free cookies now. Because like, in my mind, I'm like, what kind of a person asks for this kind of thing? Like, how are you going to ask for 3 free cookies when you shouldn't even be getting one? This is the same lady from that video. I'm not even kidding. This is the same exact lady that I was talking about in that exact video. So I was like, you know what? Fine. I gave the cookies up, and I just went straight to the back, and she started calling me again. She's like, wait, can we take one more picture for my daughter? And I'm like, you know, it's for the daughter. Like, I can't do anything. But like, if you're watching right now, I'm sure you're watching. Your mother is a Karen. I'm sorry. I know I said I wouldn't use that word, but like, it's only reserved for special cases. So yeah, after that, she left the store, and I was like, oh my God, I never want to deal with this woman again. Dude, 3 free cookies? I'm not like, if you're nice to me, that's okay. But like, how are you going to ask for that? And then like, expect it, you know? Anyways, that's it for today's video. Thank you guys all for watching. Have a beautiful, blessed day, and remember, eat fresh. Mr. Beast, you beautiful human being. I need to give you something. You tweeted out a few days ago, dear all food brands on Twitter, reply to this tweet if you want to send our food pantry some food. And I replied with, I'll donate $1,000 worth of cookies. You didn't notice that, so now I want to donate $10,000 worth of free cookies. Plus whatever ad revenue this video makes, I want to donate that too to your pantry. I see you doing all these amazing things, and Mr. Beast, I want to get involved. If you didn't know, because you probably have no idea who I am, I give a free cookie to every single person that subscribes to this channel. And I know you used to do that with your channel, and you probably still do, but I literally give every single person that comes into my Subway and shows me that they're subscribed a free cookie. So Mr. Beast, I'm begging you, let me give you these free cookies. You do so much good for the world. You have your own charity, your own philanthropy page. This is incredible. You're just the most beautiful and insanely generous human being, man. So if you're watching this video, please get in touch with me any way that you can. And if you're not Mr. Beast and you're watching this video, here's what I need you to do. We have to get Mr. Beast's attention any way that we can. So I want you to use the hashtag Milad's Cookies on Twitter, Instagram, any platform that you can to get Mr. Beast's attention. You can also tag me in your tweet and I'll interact with you. And we just have to get Mr. Beast's attention any way that we can. This audience is so powerful, and I believe in my community so much. We can literally do anything. Like, that's not a joke. So this mega cookie that I'm making right now is for you. And by the way, Subway isn't paying me to do this. Subway doesn't even pay me at all, for being honest. I just want to do this out of my heart, and because I want to give back to you, Mr. Beast. You do so much good things for the world. I know I've said that a ton of times, but like, you do. So I have to give back any way that I can too. So Mr. Beast, get in touch with me. This will be the ultimate free cookie collaboration. Let me give you $10,000 worth of free cookies and the ad revenue from this video and free cookies, and we can feed people cookies for days. So guys, please, if you're watching this, tweet at Mr. Beast using the hashtag Milad's Cookies. Let's get this hashtag trending. You guys are so much more powerful than you think. And hey, be sure to follow me on Twitter too. The link is down below. Yesterday, Mr. Beast followed me and DM'd me on Twitter, and this is why. Basically, my whole brand on this account and my TikTok account is I give away free cookies to people who subscribe or follow to me. I mean, a free cookie makes every single person happy. So if you ever come into my Subway and you want a cookie, yo, I give you a free cookie. Easy enough, right? But I wanted to give Mr. Beast a free cookie because this man has gone and done so much for the world, and his tagline used to be, if you subscribe, you get one free cookie. But not just one free cookie, Mr. Beast. I wanted to give him $10,000 worth of cookies for his charity organization. So I made a video yesterday to call upon my audience, and we had to get the attention of Mr. Beast using the hashtag Milad's Cookies on Twitter, and we did just that. This video actually kind of went nuts because all of you guys started following on Twitter and going with the hashtag and tweeting so much stuff at him. We got literally thousands of people to tweet this at him, and one of my friends now by the name of Itzaman actually put us in touch because he worked with Mr. Beast on one of his apps. I was shocked when this guy reached out to me, and you're a goat, bro. If you're out there watching, yo, thank you. So he put us in touch, and then Mr. Beast ended up DMing me, and he actually ended up following me, which is the craziest part. I mean, I used to watch Mr. Beast content like religiously a year ago, and who would have thought now he follows me on Twitter? So he put me in touch with the person that runs his charity, and we're gonna give $10,000 worth of cookies to his charity to give away to people who are hungry. My whole hypothesis is that a cookie can make somebody smile no matter what, and no, Subway's not paying me to do this. They're not even paying for the cookies. This is all out of pocket because I just genuinely want to spread the love and give free cookies, and Mr. Beast is doing such an incredible thing that I think this is gonna be so fun. So here's my goal now. I'm talking to the charity organization that he put me in touch with, and I'm going to try my hardest to hand deliver these cookies to Mr. Beast and his team. This is going to be quite the journey, so if you're interested, make sure you subscribe and follow us along on the journey. And hey, you already know if you subscribe, you get a free cookie whenever you come into my Subway. I know exactly what you're thinking right now. One half of you is thinking, wait, Subway has pizzas? And the other half is thinking, Milad, I already know that Subway has pizzas, so what makes this video so special? Wait, there are some secrets to Subway pizzas. There are 3 stages to pizzas, and you're not going to want to miss the secret that I'm going to reveal at the end about all of these pizzas. So the first stage of Subway pizza is pretty simple. I'm not going to lie, it's literally just a frozen pizza that we put into the oven and bake. You can put whatever veggies you want onto it. This person literally just got a plain pizza, but the second version of Subway pizza is kind of thrilling. Let me take you through this second version. But first, I gotta tell a story about it. When I first started at Subway, somebody came in and told me they wanted a flatitza. You gotta remember, this was 5.5 years ago when I was like 16 years old. So when they said this, I literally got upset. I was like, you're coming into my store making outrageous, and my coworker's like, wait, Milad, we actually have that. And I got interrupted in the middle of me being like that, like, oh, well, I'm sorry. So if you're working at Subway right now, or you just go to Subway in general, there's a very good chance you don't know what this is. This is called a flatitza. You literally take the flatbread and you put whatever you want onto it, and then we put the marinara sauce and the cheese onto it, and it's like a flatbread pizza. I call the frozen pizza stage 1 of Subway pizza. I call this pizza stage 2 of Subway pizza, but there's a stage 3 of Subway pizza, and it's extremely rare, and I've literally only made it like 3 times before, but it's a pretty big secret, I'm not gonna lie. When it comes to pizza at Subway, yo, it makes no sense to buy pizza at Subway. I'm not even gonna cap, but for some reason people always come into my store and buy them. Like the other day, I had a kid come in and literally buy 4 mini pizzas, and I live in New Jersey, which is literally the greatest pizza state on earth. I know Connecticut is about to get upset because of that, and so is New York, but no, New Jersey's the best. But yeah, this kid literally came in and bought pizza from Subway, and he told me it's because he saw my videos and it looked good in my videos. So Subway, you gotta cut the check, my man. I'm selling pizza in a state where pizza's the greatest thing ever. Yo, little side note, yo, Dave Portnoy, you should come to my Subway and try the pizza. Could you imagine? Anyways, there's this super secret stage of Subway pizza, and I'm kind of reluctant to share it with you guys because I don't know if it's gonna get me in trouble or not. But you know what? I figured tomorrow I'll go to Subway and I'll make it for you guys. So tomorrow's video, I will show you stage 3 of Subway pizza, which is the super secret pizza at Subway. It's literally not even on the menu, and you have to know the person that's owning the store in order to even ask for it, but it is delicious. So yeah, you learn something new every day. Go get yourself a Subway pizza right now, stage 1, stage 2, or stage 3. In yesterday's video, I promised you guys I'd make a stage 3 pizza, which is one of the rarest items in existence at Subway. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe right now, and I'll give you a free cookie when you come into my Subway. I've literally only ever made one of these 3 times in my entire life, and this is the 4th time because I just want to show you guys. It literally took me days to prepare making this video. I tried making it before, and it just didn't work. So yesterday, me and Jeremy got busy, and I had to make it. Trust me, you want to stick around to the end to see what this bad boy looks like. It's literally the greatest item on the Subway menu. Wait, it's not even on the Subway menu. In fact, this is such a rare item item that you literally need to know the owner to make it. And if somebody asked me for this, I honestly don't think I would even be able to make it, you know? Imagine someone walking into Subway and being like, let me get a stage 3 pizza. Please don't do that. Anyways, I use the Subway dough, which is incredible. I know a lot of you guys are gonna say, yo, Milad, the Subway dough is made out of cake. I don't care if it's made out of cake. It tastes delicious to me, and I don't even think it is made out of cake. I don't know, man. I'm not Subway. You gotta go ask them for that. And then this is the major key to making this pizza so incredibly good. I took the herbs that you put onto the Italian herbs and cheese bread, and I sprinkled it all over the dough after I spread it out in my pan. Bro, this is such a major key. Other companies might use their garlic sauce or whatever, but this herbs, oh my god, it hits so differently. It's incredible. Subway, if you're watching this, you gotta add this to the menu, man. And I want my 20% royalty for this being added to the menu. Thank you. So anyways, after we put that herbs onto it, I put the Subway marinara sauce onto it. I took it straight from the bag, not from the meatballs, just because, you know, I kind of want a cold marinara so it would bake better. Little life hack. I don't know if that's true, but you know. And then after the marinara, I put the pepperoni onto half, and then I put some onions and green peppers onto half. I put it before the cheese. This is a major life hack if you ever make pizza. I don't know what it is, but to me, it tastes so much better when it's all hidden. Like, it's hidden under a layer of cheese, so it's like a nice little surprise for you. And then I did half cheddar cheese, half mozzarella cheese onto this pizza, and threw it into the oven at 350 degrees for like 13 minutes or something like that. I literally had a customer walk in while I was baking this pizza that was a fan of the videos, and I showed him the pizza, and he was like, oh my god, dude, that looks incredible. He said this video is going to be a banger. We got to prove him right? And then we took it out of the oven. This is what I call a secret menu item to the max. I don't think any Subway would ever really make this, if I'm being honest, like I said before, but if you go into the Subway and ask for a stage 3 pizza, let me know how it goes. They'll probably just look at you in disgust. Anyways, I had to taste this thing, and after I chopped it up and everything, dude, this was like one of the best pizzas I've ever had. I don't know what it is about the Subway ingredients that makes it so good, and I gotta say, this was probably one of the most unhealthy pizzas I've ever had too. I don't know, maybe I should test it in a lab or something. Okay, maybe not, that seems unreasonable. But for the third time this video, please do not go into a Subway and ask for a stage 3 pizza. If you're at a Subway right now and someone comes in and asks for it, yo, I'm so sorry for what I've done. But wait, there's a secret stage 4 pizza. And I don't feel like making it, so I'll just tell you, I literally just take a chocolate chip cookie, put marinara sauce, and then cheese onto it and toast it. Yeah, you're obviously never gonna try this, and I didn't want to make it for the video. I mean, that would be disgusting. But that's the stage 4 pizza. Enjoy. Did you think that I was going to jump off of a building, get a crafting table, build a boat, and really land on it and survive? Bro, I'm sorry. You kind of got clickbaited. But wait, this is still a banger of a video, I promise. And, you know, maybe just at the end, I do exactly what I just mentioned at the beginning of this video. You know, maybe I didn't clickbait you. So today we're cutting up onions and cucumbers. Yo, the other week, oh my god, I almost literally cut my finger off doing this. I'm not kidding when I say that this job could be dangerous. I've talked about it once before, but it happened again. Before we talk about it, though, if you're watching this video right now, you have to subscribe to my channel. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules, I just enforce them. But hey, at least you get a free cookie if you subscribe, right? So yeah, I was cutting up cucumbers in the back. I was doing 2 at a time. You know, those are some MLG moves. And I had to push it in because I originally broke the little like lever thing that lets you push it in. I don't know how to explain it, but I had to push it in with my hand. And my fingers got to the point where it almost chopped off because of it. And I was like, oh my god. I literally thought that I was about to chop a piece of my finger off. But thank goodness that I didn't. I was literally so close to doing it. And then I got to the green peppers, and then I almost chopped my finger off with a knife. I mean, you have to cut the green pepper in half, and you have to gut the inside, and I do it with a knife, and I literally graze the tip of my finger. I don't know what it is with knives and the sharp objects at Subway, but dude, I always find a way to almost hurt myself, and sometimes I do hurt myself. Like, the other week I was making a sandwich for my girlfriend too, and I posted this to shorts, but while I was cutting the bread, I literally cut to my wrist. There's a blood warning for that video. It's somewhere on my channel. But that was one of the scariest things, because the cut literally landed right next, no, not even right next, right on top of one of my veins. I still have a scar of it to this day on my wrist. But yeah, I just don't almost cut myself. I almost burnt myself at Subway too. The other week, my mom, I was literally on TikTok live when this happened too. My mom told me to grab some bread, and without me knowing, she put the super hot tray of bread inside of the proofer thing, and I grabbed the tray to pull it out with my hand, and I just screamed, ah! In front of like 5 customers too. I put my hand and grabbed a steaming hot tray of bread, and my mom was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I was like, Mom, it's okay, but I'm in pain. I literally ran my hand under some cold water for the next like half hour. And speaking of burns, when I was younger, I had to get a cup of tea for my parents. It was a steaming hot cup of tea, and I was walking it back. Listen, Mom, I love you. My mom is a great woman. She didn't do it. Obviously, she doesn't mean for me to burn or anything. But I spilt the tea onto myself, and to this day, I still have like a little tan mark on my belly because of it. That wasn't that painful, but like, because I was young, but like, it was still kind of crazy. And I always have that mark on my belly to signify it. Oh yeah, and if you made it this far, comment Milad MLG, and I'll give one of you a $50 Subway gift card. You gotta be subscribed though. You guys all might know the Jersey Shore for the popular TV show where a bunch of people from Italy came and started to fight each other in a house. But my recollection of the Jersey Shore is the most beautiful place on earth. Okay, maybe not the most beautiful place on earth. I mean, the water at the Jersey Shore is kind of green. But my childhood was literally spent on those boardwalks eating funnel cakes and just doing dumb stuff. When Milad was a little kid, let me take you back to the story. Gather around, gather around. Most of my friends would go to this place called Seaside. Most of my friends would go to this place called like Ortley or something. But I would go to Atlantic City. It's literally the rip-off Las Vegas. And if you don't know what the Jersey Shore is, basically my state has a shoreline. It's like somewhere where you go to the beach and just have fun and do beach things, you know? And so during the summertime, every single person in New Jersey would just migrate south to the Jersey Shore. And this would be the home of the craziest things that would happen, the best rides, and probably the best curly fries and funnel cakes. So when I was a little kid and we would go to Atlantic City, I would literally run up and down the boardwalk just screaming and trying to talk to strangers. And my parents would always be like, Milad, come back here, stop running away. And there was this huge slingshot ride that was in the carnival on the boardwalk. And I remember since I was a little kid, I always asked my mom if she could let me go on that thing. And there was even this time where I started standing in line for it and I almost paid the guy. But my mom was like, Milad, come here, stop it. So young Milad really wanted to do some adventure time over there. And so my journey at the Jersey Shore was basically go to the hotel, watch my dad play some poker, go run around the boardwalk, and go to the amusement park. But the one staple of the Jersey Shore that I will never forget are the funnel cakes. I don't know what it is about these funnel cakes, man. It's just it's literally the greatest thing I've ever had. I'm not gonna cap. And yo, don't even get me started about the fried Oreos. Oh my god. You know, I must have gained 30. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of fat as a little kid. It had to be because of these snacks. But yeah, if you were wondering and you're not from America, yo, even if you are from America, a lot of people don't know, the Jersey Shore isn't just a show. It's a real place. And I'll admit it, okay, most of the people at the Jersey Shore are exactly like Mikey and Vinny and all those characters in the show. But hey, it's New Jersey. What do you expect, right? If you enjoyed this video, you owe me one subscription. Thank you. Okay, so yesterday, one of the craziest things I think that has ever happened at my store happened. I'm so shocked. It's like new content is coming to me every day. So I had a lady and her family come in. It was 4 of them. They didn't seem like they were from America, but they were very nice and they were very sweet people. And they went through the motions. You know, they were ordering their sandwiches. I gotta say, though, they ordered 5 things. And I was all alone, so I was trying to rush through them as quickly as possible with a line behind them. And they were all a little older, I'm not gonna lie. So it took a little bit to get through all the sandwiches, and then I finally got through them all and went to ring it all up. And then while I was ringing it up, they were like, wait, we need one more sandwich. And I was like, oh my god. Okay. So I went and rushed through that last sandwich and I went back to ring them up. And the oldest lady was actually paying for all of it and she had a credit card. Wait, scratch that. She had a debit card, I'm pretty sure. And I went to ring up the whole thing and the total was around $30. And she had no idea how to use this thing. I don't think any of them did, if I'm being honest. But once again, super sweet people, I gotta say. And I basically told her, hey, you're gonna have to go through the motions of putting it into the machine. And it's gonna ask you for a tip. Just skip through a tip. And then you have to do nothing else. Well, while this was happening, I guess the lady thought that the tip was her PIN number. And she put in her PIN number. And then all of a sudden on the screen, I see a receipt print out that says $1,000. I was like, oh my god. Either this lady is the most generous lady on earth, or she just accidentally tipped me $1,000. So I said to her, I was like, ma'am, your receipt is now $1,000. I was like, did you mean to do this? And she legitimately had no idea what I was talking about. She just kept saying, yes, yes, yes. And I was like, no, 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 do you see this? I started pointing at the receipt for her, and all of a sudden I see her eyes just blow up, and she's like, oh my god. And I'm like, ma'am, you tipped me $1,000 by accident. What have you done? I've literally never dealt with a situation like this. So I was panicking in the back of my head. I had customers online just sitting there. This was all yesterday too. And I was like, hold on, I'm going to take care of this, but get your phone out. And I was so afraid this woman wouldn't even have a phone. So I told her, yeah, you have to call your bank and make sure when I void this that they actually void it. I didn't want this lady getting charged $1,000. And I made it really clear to her next time whenever she goes somewhere, she has to read the screen. But she was older, so I bet she had no idea what was going on. So I finally figured out how to void the entire transaction and she didn't lose any money. We had her call her bank and they were fine. They were like, yep, we didn't process this payment. You're good, woman. And I was like, thank God. I didn't want to scam this lady out of $1,000 for a couple Subway sandwiches. Oh my God. And so next time I rang her up and then I did the entire process for her. I was like, I'm going to skip this tip thing for you, ma'am. And her total came out to $30. I gave her the 2 receipts and I sent her on her way. And she honestly had no idea what was going on. And the 3 other people had no idea what was going on either. They literally seemed like they didn't care. So I was like, what is happening right now? This has legitimately never happened to me. This might be one of my craziest stories I've ever told. If you enjoyed this story, please like the video and subscribe. And remember, eat fresh. Over the past 9 months, I've done over $44 million in free advertising for Subway. I'm going to break it all down in this video, and there's a special surprise just for you at the end, Subway. You don't want to miss it. And by the way, could you please subscribe? It's free, and it helps a lot. So 9 months ago, I started on TikTok by making these stupid little videos where I tried people's sandwiches. I would literally pick out 4 sandwiches a day, and I already ate Subway every day, so it didn't really matter at the time. And I would eat 3 different 6 inches and 1 mini sub every single day for this little challenge thing. And people loved it. I mean, I love trying different people's sandwiches from around the world, and I gotta admit, I got a lot of really cool sandwich ideas from these videos. But eventually I stopped doing that and moved into more of a POV style. These POV videos basically displayed me making Subway sandwiches and telling a little bit of a story over them. I would pick out random comments from the comment section that people were intrigued about, and I'd tell whatever story I had about them. It's also crazy because I learned to get a whole new perspective for my entire life through making these videos. You would never really realize how many different stories you have until you get probed about something that you never even thought of for a few years. So this experience absolutely blew up my channel and blew up my name under the Subway brand. In time, I got about 1.1 billion views on TikTok over the past 9 months. And I started on YouTube about 2.5 months ago, and I've accumulated 501 million views on here. Now here's the real kicker. I've done all of this under the Subway brand, which is so cool to me. As most of you know, my parents own a Subway franchise, and we actually used to own another one too. So sales at our Subway franchise have absolutely blown up in the past few days. What am I saying? The past few days? Past few months, excuse me. And we've really enjoyed the journey because we get to meet all of you beautiful people that watch these videos, and all of you are just so kind. Like, you're all such beautiful human beings. Like, I really mean that. And I quickly learned that it wasn't just my Subway, but it was Subways nationwide and kind of even worldwide that got this little bit of a boost. I mean, $44 million in free advertising will do that, I must say. And it's been really cool. I mean, I'm only 21 years old. I only started this whole thing 9 months ago on TikTok. So to understand the real impact that I've had over these past few months is insane. And before you guys call cap on the number, so you could do the math, 1.1 billion views on TikTok where they charge CPM of $10 to advertisers, and 501.3 million views on YouTube where they charge an average CPM of $20 to $30 for mid-tier advertisements. I'm pretty sure they charge like $40 CPM for the high-tier advertisers. And listen, I don't want to float my own boat, but I think these are kind of high tier. Subway, here's what I'm asking for. I really want absolutely nothing. I am so grateful for the opportunity that your company presented to me. I mean, on day one, you could have came and told me to stop making the videos that I'm making. You could have kicked me out. You could have done so much to my family's franchise, but you didn't. And we made something beautiful out of this. I literally want nothing from you guys. I am so thankful for this entire opportunity and what we've built. And my favorite part about all this is that we're helping franchise owners worldwide. People don't realize it, but the individual Subway shops are not owned by the corporation. They're owned by families just like my parents. And for the past 4 or 5 years, Subways have been really struggling. But now Subway is finally getting back to what it used to be, and I'm really happy to be a part of what we're doing. Thank you, Subway, for just every single thing that you do for me. I'm eternally grateful to you, and I want to keep continuing to make great content for you guys. And oh, if you're still watching this, you gotta try my sub. It's a turkey with American cheese, lettuce. Alright, never mind. And also a huge thank you to every single person that watches these videos. Without you, literally none of this would be possible. Now please like the video, subscribe if you're new, eat fresh everybody, and have a beautiful and blessed day. So the other day I had a lady come into the store, and you already know we're not going to call her the K word, but she was a very, very entitled person. And dude, in the end, you don't want to miss what she ended up telling me. But before we get there, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out a lot. So this lady walked into the store and just started off by grabbing a couple bags of chips. And then I came out from the back and I was like, oh, hello, ma'am. How are you doing today? No response. So I was like, okay, it's going to be one of these types of customers. And then I tried in my nicest voice to say, would you like anything else or just the chips for today? And she says to me, I will tell you when I'm ready. And I'm like, okay. So I'm just gonna stand here. You let me know whenever you're ready to make a sandwich, okay? And she kind of like scoffed at me. And so finally, after getting like 4 bags of chips, she comes over to where the sandwich place is and she starts ordering her sandwich. I start off by asking her what type of bread she wants, and she tells me Italian bread. And then I grab the Italian bread and she goes, no, that is not the bread that I want. I want garlic bread. And I said, we don't have garlic bread, ma'am, but I have Italian herbs and cheese bread. And then I showed that to her and she was like, oh, okay, that works. And then she ordered herself a cold cut combo. Now this wasn't any cold cut combo. She gave me very specific instructions as to how to make this sandwich. She first asked me to put the cheese onto the bread, which I said okay to, and then I put the cold cuts onto it, and then she starts screaming, no, no, no! I want you to toast the sandwich first, no meat onto it, and then we're gonna do everything. And I go, you know, whatever you say, ma'am, whatever you say. And then I toasted the sandwich, took it out of the toaster, and she goes, you know, that's a little too crispy for my liking. And I'm like, ma'am, you should have told me so. I would have made it lightly toasted or something. I don't know. So at this point, I'm just trying to get through the sandwich because this seems like one of one of those customers that is literally gonna complain about everything I do. And so I put the cold cuts onto the sandwich, and then we start going to the vegetables. She starts off by saying lettuce. I put a mountain of lettuce onto it for her because she said extra lettuce. And then I put some tomatoes onto it, and I put 5 tomatoes, and oh my god, this lady lost it. She said every other Subway that I go to, they put 6 tomatoes. Put 6 tomatoes. And I'm like, okay, ma'am, I will do that just for you. So I put the 6 tomatoes onto it, and we always put 5 tomatoes. Like, I guess other Subways put 6, but like, I don't know, it just seems like too many tomatoes to me. Who cares though? And then I finally get through making her sandwich, and then I put some mayonnaise onto the sub, and she legitimately freaks out at how much mayo I put onto it. She goes, you put too much mayo onto this sandwich. I don't want it anymore. And I said to her, well, I could always just like scrape some mayo off of the sandwich. And she was like, that's just not the same. And I was like, ma'am, I'm just gonna scrape the mayo off of the sub, and you tell me if this looks bad. And I scrape it off, and she said, oh, well, I guess that works then. Okay. And so at the end, I go to ring her up, and then she goes, wait. And as I was ringing her up, she said, I wanted soda. You didn't charge me for soda. And I was like, you're a good Samaritan for telling me that, because you probably would have grabbed the soda and I wouldn't even notice. So she went to the fridge and grabbed herself a couple sodas. And as I was ringing her up, she was like, you know what? I changed my mind. And she put the sodas back into the fridge. And I was like, when will this end? And that was about that. She took her sandwiches, she left the store, and I went to the back, and I immediately had to do some heavy breathing for a few minutes to recover. If that woman's out there, I'm sure you didn't mean to be a entitled person, but you're kind of a K-word, I'm not gonna lie. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like it and subscribe to me. Subscribing to the channel is completely free. Listen, you beautiful and blessed person, have a great day, and remember, eat fresh. So a few months back, we had a customer come in. I'm going to call him something like Darren. Obviously, his name wasn't really Darren. But Darren walked in, and immediately he had no mask on. And there were other customers in the store. Sometimes if somebody forgets their mask and they're just all alone, I'll be like, okay, whatever. Like, I'll make your sandwich for you, but it's no big deal. But there were other customers in the store, so I was like, sir, you got to go put your mask on. I'm sorry. And this man immediately looks me dead in the eyes, goes, walks out, and I was like, oh my God, that was the scariest thing I've ever seen. And he walks back in with the mask on, so I was like, delightful. So I was like, sir, what can I do for you? How can I help you? And he starts off by saying in the most disgruntled voice, I want a foot-long Italian right now. And I'm like, all right, I got you. And I pull out the bread and I start doing the choppy stuff. And I'm like, what kind of sandwich do you want? And he said, I don't remember what kind of sandwich. Let's say it was a turkey. He was like, let me get a turkey sub. And I started putting the turkey on it. And he was like, wait, I want the mayo on the bread, sir. Why didn't you ask me for the mayo on the bread? And I was like, okay, I can do that right now. And then I went to go put the mayo on the bread. He's like, no, I want a new piece of bread. And I was like, I don't understand the logic here, but I'm not going to argue with the guy. So I went back and I got a new piece of bread, and the man was so mad. I could just see it in his eyes. He wanted to strangle me or something. And so after I got the new piece of bread out, I started spreading mayonnaise onto it. He was like, spread that out with a knife for me right now, boy. I was like, okay, I got you. And I started spreading it around with the mayonnaise, and then I started putting the turkey onto the sub, and he was like, you only put 8 pieces of turkey onto a sandwich. And I was like, sir, this has been the Subway formula for like 14 years. I don't know what you want me to do. And he started going off on me about how we're so cheap, and like Subway's just so cheap with their meat. I'm like, sir, it's $1 for extra meat if you want extra meat. And he was just so mad. I didn't understand. How could you be so mad over a Subway sandwich? I don't understand. So I tried getting through the sandwich. I was like, okay, sir, let's go to the next part. Like, any cheese on it? And he told me the cheese, and we went to the vegetables. And then I started putting the lettuce and the tomatoes onto the sub. I literally thought this man was gonna kill me. I put 5 tomatoes onto the sandwich. He was like, why are you putting so many tomatoes onto my sandwich? And I was like, okay, I'll just take them off. And he was like, okay, that's fine. I'm like, what is going on right now? This man gets mad, and then he's okay, and then he gets mad, and then he's okay. And then I kind of just, wrapped up the sandwich, got done with it, and when I rang him up, dude, he got a soda, and when I told him the soda was $2, I thought there and then he was about to reach over the counter and try killing me. He was like, $2 for a soda? This is an outrage. And I'm like, sir, please just buy your sandwich and go. And I offered the man a free cookie, I gotta say. And I don't think he understood what I was saying, and he was like, I don't want a cookie. And I'm like, all right, that's okay. Once again, who declines a free cookie? Come on now. And so after some back and forth, he finally left the store, and I was just standing there dumbfounded thinking to myself, why would anybody get this mad over a Subway sandwich? You woke up and chose to go buy a sandwich from Subway today. Why are you making me feel so bad about making your sandwich? And that's it for today's story. If you guys enjoyed, please subscribe to the channel and like the video. It really helps me more than you could even imagine. Peace and love, everybody. Have a beautiful and blessed day, and remember, eat fresh. Yesterday, I graduated from college, and what a ride these past 4 years have been. I always heard when I was younger that college was going to be the greatest experience of my life, and now that I've been through college, I can 100% say that it is not the greatest experience of my life. I think college was actually one of the hardest times in my entire life, but I still did make a lot of really cool friends, and I had a lot of really good times. But I gotta say, kids, college is way overhyped, but I think what comes after college, aka the rest of your life, when you have final freedom, now I think that's going to be the greatest moments of your life. Walking that stage and realizing that I'm done was one of the most relieving things I ever felt. But it's funny because me and the person in front of me, we started to talk and like make friends while we were graduating, you know? And we both agreed we don't feel different at all. It's like, what just happened? I think one of my favorite stories from college was the first day of me walking in. I got to meet my boy Jeremy. Jeremy actually works at the Subway now, and like, it's crazy. From the first day, like, we met and we were just friends. Like, the times in college were great, I gotta say. Cramming all night to study for an exam, doing projects last minute and hoping that your professor will not catch you, and just like being yourself. I mean, that's, I think, the biggest thing with college for everybody. You're no longer fit into like a cookie cutter high school society. It's like you finally get to be free and nobody really cares who you are. There's no gossip. There's no extra stuff like high school has. So that is one really relieving thing about college, I will say. And for the people that don't know if they're going to go to college or don't want to go to college, listen, man, it is completely okay. I think that if I didn't get a full ride scholarship, I don't think I would have gone to college, because student loans are a real thing, and I didn't want to pay my entire life away for student loans. And that's probably one of the reasons why I won't go back to college, just because it is so expensive. But I think by far my favorite story from the college experience has to be the time that I had a physics lab and met two of my best friends. We used to spend Thursday nights together in my friend's apartment, and we would just do the dumbest thing. And when Corona hit, we didn't get to spend Thursday nights at all with each other anymore. It was kind of sad, I gotta say. But yeah, we would do things like go out in the night. We would stay in and play Fortnite at 3 in the morning. We would just have like the deepest conversations too. And it's crazy because like this all stemmed from one class. One of the deepest learnings I think I've had at college is the fact that you can meet one of your best friends at any time, anywhere. So kids, keep an open heart if you're going to college, and an open mind. Study hard, work hard, don't do drugs. Have a beautiful, blessed day. Subscribe to the channel if you support me and you love me, because I love you. And eat fresh. The other week, I was working with my boy Jeremy, and we literally thought Russian Spetsnaz came into the store. But before we go into the story, please subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free, and it helps me more than you could ever even imagine. So I was working a shift with my boy Jeremy. I mean, I'm sure you all know Jeremy already. And we were actually in between shifts, so I was about to go home, but I figured, hey, I gotta make myself a sandwich before I go. I always love to make myself a nice little sandwich to enjoy at home, you know. And so Jeremy had two customers come in. The second these two men came in, they legitimately looked like killers. They were both bald, wearing like something like kind of a jumpsuit. It's hard to explain. You know, the Adidas track pants and the Adidas sweatshirt. And they walked in and they had a very thick accent like this. I mean, it wasn't like that, but you know, it was intimidating. I'm not gonna lie. Seemed like nice gentlemen though, but one of the men immediately went to the back of the store and just had his arms crossed, just like he was observing and just waiting for something to go down. And the other man came to order and Jeremy was helping him. I was like, okay, I can't leave Jeremy alone right now. So I ended up staying there and just watching this whole thing transpire. The man ordered one of the new Subway melts from Jeremy, and the way that he was ordering it was so intimidating. He was like, let me get a melt. I'm sorry, my accents are just horrible. I'm sorry, so I'm not even gonna do an accent. But he was like, yeah, let me get the melt. And you know, Jeremy was like, yeah, I got you, don't worry. And Jeremy's one of the nicest people in the world too. I mean, like, it's very hard to get in a fight with Jeremy. And so the guy ordered the sandwich, and as Jeremy was making it, the guy was like being picky and such. You know how people are. You know? And he was like, no, I don't want it like that. And he was looking like back at his guy, like his comrade, like 3-4 times while he was ordering the sandwich. It was like they were in sync or something, just like giving the head nods and such. And I was like, what is going on? I literally thought we were about to get robbed. It was like something out of a movie. And then Jeremy goes to put the melt into the oven, and the guy was like, whoa, what are you doing there? And we were just like, you gotta melt the sandwich. You know, you gotta, it's a melt. You gotta melt it in the toaster. He was like, okay. And then as that was happening, we were helping some other customer in the store. Very nice fellow. I think you watched the videos, but I forget your name. I'm sorry. But then the melt actually finally ended up bringing in. Jeremy took it out with the bag, and the guy was like, wait, let me see the melt. And Jeremy, like, the melts are like blistering hot. So Jeremy took it out of the oven with his bare hand. What a champion that boy is. I mean, it literally burns your hands whenever you're taking it out of the bag. And he shows the man how like the top of the melt is charred, because that's how it kind of comes. And the guy looks back at his comrade in the back. The guy in the back shakes his head no, and the guy goes, this is despicable. We walk out. And then they both walked out of the store, and it was like, what is going on? And as they were walking out, I screamed, have a nice day, guys. And they didn't even say a thing. I should have offered them a free cookie. But yeah, me and Jeremy might have legitimately dodged a bullet there. I don't know. There were some scary men. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it. Thank you guys for watching. Have a beautiful and blessed day, and remember, eat fresh. Over the past month, I've honestly been so blessed with all of this, and I need to say thank you guys so much for everything. I mean, honestly, I have no idea why I blew up this quickly and why you guys watch me. I literally just talk and make Subway sandwiches, but nonetheless, thank you guys so much. I love every single one of you so dearly, and I thought today I might as well give back to the people that were there for me before any of this started. So I'm giving $1,000 away to some customers. I was thinking about the best way to do this. You know, I was thinking maybe give 10 customers $100, maybe give one customer $1,000, but I thought the fairest way to do this was to give 3 customers $333.33, and that extra penny at the end, you know, I gotta put that into my tip jar. I'm sorry, man's gotta eat, right? And I'm just gonna say right now, yes, I did charge them for the sandwiches. I know it's pointless, but at least they got the free cookie, right? Gotta run the business at the end of the day. And yo, the reaction on these customers' faces were kind of priceless. I didn't really want to get everyone's face in it just for privacy reasons, but like, yo, they were in shock. I couldn't believe some of the reactions, and I mean, they were all like great human beings. You know, I made sure I picked people that were really nice to me and people that were really patient and just like forgiving and such. But honestly, I want to do so many more giveaways in the future too. I mean, doing this kind of stuff is just so fun to me. Like, giving food to the homeless was so much fun. Doing giveaways for you guys is so much fun. And giving customers money, that's the biggest Uno reverse card I think in existence. I mean, what store can you walk into besides like one of Mr. Beast's stores? I mean, like, that man's giving away hundreds of thousands of dollars a day. But what store can you walk into and they pay you to eat their food? So yeah, I want to do a lot more stuff like this in the future, and I really appreciate you guys being here and supporting so much. I mean, it literally just means the world to me. You beautiful people out there are legitimately the reason that I'm able to do this. Without any of you, you guys already know this is impossible. But yeah, I made sure to give one of the customers, a DoorDash driver, you know, I made sure to give him money because he's working all day, he's on his feet. Might as well just give back to the people working hard too, right? And the other 2 were just very kind human beings. I mean, like, if I can make someone's day just a little bit better by giving them a couple $100, like, why wouldn't I do it? It's so much fun for me. It makes for good content, and I hope it's fun for you guys too. And you guys need to subscribe right now because I'm going to be doing a ton of giveaways in the future for people that are subbed to this channel. And if I'm being honest, I'm one of those people that like to help out the earlier people, but I still love the people that are late to the boat. I mean, like, who knows? Maybe you're very early now. I mean, we did grow 1 million in like a month, right? So yeah, I really hope we could do more stuff like this in the future. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this video. Obviously, it's not going to be giveaways every single day, but hey, if you guys liked it, like, maybe I should give more money to my customers, right? And I'm already prepared for Subway to be incredibly busy because of this video. Please don't come in asking me for money. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and supporting the cause. Make sure you like this video. It really helps us out. And if this video gets 100,000 likes, I'm going to do another video just like this one, maybe with some more money too. Once again, subscribe to the channel if you're new for some giveaways. Turn on those bell notifications so you're early to the videos. I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. Peace and love, everybody, and have a beautiful and blessed day. Don't forget, eat fresh.